Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of parent functions. This is standard A.7C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 27 off the Redesign Practice Online STAAR test, which is a new item type called inline choice. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. Alright, so we've got a parent function here. I'm going to open up my graph draw feature so we can kind of mark this up. So our parent function here is this f of x equals x squared. So we call it a parent function because it's our starting function. We're going to transform it some way, and it is your most vanilla basic quadratic function you can think of right here. It's just a basic parabola. It faces up. This is f right here. It's got the origin as its vertex. It's perfectly symmetrical with the y-axis reflected across the y-axis, so it's vanilla. It's basic. Now, it was transformed to create, there we go, f of x minus 2 and then plus 5. Okay, so what does that mean when we've got each of these things here? So let's deal with this one first. Okay, so g of x equals, and then let's call it x plus b. Okay, so what happens when you add something inside with the x before it gets squared? Okay, because it's going to take this basic f of x and it's going to input a minus 2 here. Well, this plus b deals with horizontal shifts. When you're dealing with it before it gets squared, it's going to horizontally either move to the left or to the right. How we know that is the value of b. So if b is greater than 0, right, so it's plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, this is where it gets a little bit weird. It actually shifts to the left. So, for example, it could be b equals 2, plus 2. Instead of moving it to the right, which is where the x-axis actually gets greater, it actually shifts to the left. So when b is less than 0, so in this case we've got a negative 2, it's actually going to shift it to the right. So it seems a little bit counterintuitive there, but it looks like this is going to shift over to the right 2 spots because it's a negative 2. So let's move that over there. So 2 units to the right. Now let's deal with this 5 units real quick. All right, so the 5 units, we got a plus 5 right here. And what do we do with that? Well, g of x, let's just deal with that. We'll say x squared plus c. So this plus 5 is acting as this c. And this deals with vertical shifts. Okay, so we're going to go up or down. Now this makes a little bit more sense. If c is greater than 0, it's going to shift up. So c equals 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case, c equals 5. It's going to shift up. When c is less than 0, it's going to shift down. So these two kind of act opposite. This is the counterintuitive side over here. If it's greater than 0, it goes to the negative. If it's less than 0, it goes to the positive. But when it's just this addend on the end, it's pretty simple. So 5 units, it's going to shift 5 units up. So 5 units up. So we're thinking this is the answer, right? So before we just say that's our answer, we need to graph this out. Let's make sure we have this correct. All right, so I'm going to go to my y equals here, and let's start with our parent function, x squared. Graph that. There we go. Nice and vanilla. Now we can come down here. We can say it's going to be, after the parentheses, x minus 2, still squared. And then you add 5, and look what happens. It moves 2 to the right, 5 up. So that is our